So today we're going to show you how to change out the power steering pump in a Subaru Outback. This is an Outback Legacy. It's the 2003 model, and it just makes a terrible noise, and you can't really move the steering wheel. So we're going to replace this guy, and here's the new pump that we have. Okay, we just bought this off of eBay. We did get a good pump. It's a right here. It's a Cardone pump. So let's take a look at it. So the first thing you want to do before you start is disconnect the battery. Okay, so we loosen this first bolt here, and we loosen this bolt here, and store them, and we just need to start taking all these pieces loose off of here. Okay, so we want to get that belt off of there, so we're going to get that tensioner pulley off, tightened up, and then pull the belt out. Okay, so we're pulling the belt out of there. We got, just you use this tensioner pulley right here. We put like a tightening motion on it, and it'll pull it in. You pull that out. Check your belt. This is a great time to replace your serpentine belt if you need a new one. Okay, so we had to loosen these two bolts here in the front of the pulley. You see, and then now we're going to come back here on the back. Down in here, there's two nuts. You can see where it's. I don't know if you could see in there. You would see. There's one of them. Okay, so once you get all these, once you get all the bolts out, you can just pull that up. You want to wiggle that around a little bit so we can just see how loose that is. Okay. So then once that's the last thing we need to do is get this. See if we can show you here. Get this out and disconnect it, and we're good to go. So real quick here, one of the things that you've got to do is pull this cable out, and let me see what we did with it. Here it is. Basically, when it's connected in there, you just have to push down on the little white thing and just pull them separate, and you get something like that. So once you pull that out, now we're going to pull this out, lift that out if you want, and you'll see we have the tensioner hooked up on there. So we're just going to have to get this off of this attachment. So this, you're going to get this out. This thing's tight. It's been here for a long time. So just get a hammer, hit it about 4 or 5 times here, 4 or 5 times there, knock that around a little bit, and that thing's going to kind of jostle loose a little bit, and that's off. So now what we need to do is clean this up, and we'll put the new one on. Okay, so now the next step is put this new pump in there, and just make sure all the bolts line up, especially that one down at the very bottom. You can kind of clean that off a little bit if you want. Try not to keep that in too much dust, and get her put together. Then we'll put that big long bolt back through and load it back in the car. Okay, so now we've just got it set back in there. We hooked up that sensor to it again, and now we need to get those back in the back. Those two bolts need to get hooked back up. Then this one here in the front, and just kind of reverse order it. Okay, so the next thing is we'll put these two bolts back in there. You see they'll tighten right there. There's one of them. We've got those two in the back done. And this little guy right there under the hose, that gun had to be tightened too. Okay, so now we're tightening these bolts down here. So once you get to this point, what we're going to need to do is this comes out, and this is where this hose hooks in. Take this pink lid off, this off, and then these two hook in there. And then right here, you have to hook this in with that nut. So we'll take a look at those. Okay, so we put these two hoses back on there. Now we just need to put the serpentine belt on and give her a try.